Hello everyone, this is Aryan Thakkar, your coach and mentor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on Aryan Tutorials, where in this video I'm going to take up your ISC Class 11's Rhapsody's first poem, which is Abhisara the Tryst, written by Rabindranath Tagore, commonly known as Rabindranath Thakur. ठीक है? Now, this poem, talking about this poem celebrates the power of love, the true nature of love, and a spiritual unition between two lovers. As it is said, no, that true love is always found in the unexpected time. सच्चा प्यार वो एक बिल्ली की तरह है जो कि अगर आप खोजो तो वो कभी नहीं मिलती है, बट जब आप उसको नहीं खोज रहे होते हो तो वो चुपचाप आके आपके बगल में बैठ जाएगी. ठीक है. So this poem is also sort of about a love which is a unition between two souls, a love which is not traditional, a love which is not conventional, a love which is not subjected to time or is limited by time, a love which is a spiritual connection between two souls. That is what the poem tries to capture. So chalo, let's read thoda sa and see the background of the poem first. The poem Abhisara. Now, what is the meaning of Abhisara? Abhisara refers to a Sanskrit word which means meeting. ठीक है? Abhisara is a Sanskrit word जिसका मतलब होता है meeting. And tryst refers to a rendezvous. Rendezvous. So many students mistake it for pronouncing it as rendezvous. It is not rendezvous, but it is pronounced as rendezvous. And rendezvous refers to a secret love meeting. ठीक है? It is a secret love meeting. So, Abhisara the Tryst is a poem that celebrates the beauty of nature. So, nature is used as a backdrop to enhance the spiritual unition between the two principal characters in our poem, which is one is Upagupta and second is Vasava Datta. ठीक है? We'll come to that. Who are they? And this poem celebrates the power of true love. This poem stands as a defiance. Defiance means this poem violates. ठीक है? This poem violates, breaks the societal ideas, norms of time, making it a statement, bold statement on true love and freedom, a spiritual connection between two lovers. ठीक है? So this poem does not celebrate the traditional kind of love that we perceive love as. हम लोगों के लिए लव का डेफिनेशन ही होगा, ये तुम मेरे से प्यार करती, तुम मेरे को मैसेज क्यों नहीं की, तुम मेरा रिप्लाई क्यों नहीं देती है मैसेज का. That is not the kind of love that we are talking about. A love which is always found out in the unexpected ways, a love which is a blessing, a love which is pure and love which is untainted. That is what this poem is talking about. ठीक है? Now this poem has two different setting, and that makes this poem a transitional poem or a moving poem. So the first setting, the first context of the poem is during the month of August, when there is a gray overcast. So it is clouded, and that symbolizes the, unknown. That symbolizes unknown, something that is unknown, which is yet to be known. So that is why the first meeting between Upagupta and Vasava Datta is during the month of August, and then the poem transitions to the month of April during the springtime, which symbolizes renewal and blossom. ठीक है? So it is a transitional poem. The style of the poem is that of lyrical. It is a narrative poem and very rich in its imagery. Different nature as a backdrop has been used. Picturesque nature as a backdrop has been used to describe, to celebrate nature. And the setting of the poem is based in Mathura, the ancient city of Mathura. As we all know that it is the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Shri Krishna ka Janma Bhumi hai Mathura. So I would say that when we associate love, what could be a better example or what could be a better setting than the best love story of the world, which is of Shri Krishna and that of Radha. कि जब प्यार का उल्लेख आता है, when we talk about true love, the first example and the first unition that comes to our mind is of Lord Krishna and Radha. उससे बेहतर सच्चा प्यार का और क्या example होगा? So the setting of the poem is in sync with the title, that is Abhisara, the love meeting, and it is very appropriate. ठीक है? So chalo, let's read thoda sa background. This is a story like a poem which is based on the principal character Upagupta, who is a Buddhist monk. So he is a disciple. Okay? He is a disciple. He is a follower of Buddhist culture. He is a Buddhist monk who lived in the 300 BCE and was revered. Revered means he was respected. He was even respected, revered by Emperor Ashoka. This poem demonstrates, means highlights the values of love, what does true love stand for, and the compassion. Compassion means, being humble to one another during the time of adversity. So जब बुरा समय चलता है, उस टाइम पे अगर कोई आपको आश्वासन दे या कोई आपके साथ खड़ा हो, there is nothing like it. That is what depicts true love. ठीक है? So compassion that may be found in the unexpected person under unusual circumstances, uncertain circumstances. Chalo, let's start getting into the line by line of the poem. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, lay asleep in dust by the city wall of Mathura. Lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and the stars were hidden by the murky sky of August. Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets, touching his breast of a sudden? He woke up startled, and the light from the woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. Now, in the beginning of the poem, we get to see that Upagupta, who is the disciple of Buddha. Disciple means he is an ascetic. Okay? Ascetic means someone who is spiritually inclined, who follows on the path of spirituality, who is not attracted by worldly or materialistic pleasures and desires. Okay? So Upagupta is a disciple of Buddha who lay asleep, who was lying asleep in the dust. So वो जमीन के ऊपर धूल पे सो रहा था, which highlights his simplicity, and at the same time he was above. He had risen above in his spiritual path. He had risen above any worldly pleasures. Okay? He was above and beyond any worldly pleasures, and that is why he was lying onto the ground, that too on the dust. So this depicts Upagupta as a very simple person and how devotee he was towards his spiritual journey. And he was laying asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. As I said, Mathura is the setting of the poem. It is the holy city which is known for its rich cultures in Hinduism and Buddhism. So उस time पे जो Buddhist culture था Mathura में, it was on its peak. And Upagupta was a disciple, was a follower of Buddhist culture. Lamps were all out, so there was no light which was visible. It was a dark night. Lamps were all out. Light had all gone. Doors were all shut. So people were, I would say, the entire town was engulfed in a deep state of slumber. What is the meaning of slumber? Slumber is a state of sleep. कि पूरा टाउन सो रहा था. There was complete silence, सन्नाटा है, कोई भी नहीं है, कोई लाइट नहीं है, कोई लोग नहीं है, and everybody is falling. The entire town is at rest. ठीक है? The stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. So there was no star which was twinkling up in the sky. It was all hidden by the murky. Murky means the dark and gloomy. So this is a personification which is used, that the entire dark sky had hidden. Hidden means it had hid the entire twinkling stars during the month of August. So it is the darkness which had enveloped the stars in the sky, okay, which had concealed, which had hidden the stars in the sky. And all of a sudden there could be the sound of an anklet that could be heard. So whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? ठीक है. नाउ दिस लाइन हैज बीन गिवन टू रेज अ क्यूरियोसिटी इन द माइंड ऑफ रीडर्स कि किसका एंकलेट का आवाज आ रहा है, कौन ऐसे छम छम जेंटली अपने आवाज पायल के आवाज से आ रही है, एंटर कर रही है. एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन the person who's wearing anklet, her feet touches the breast, that is the chest of Upagupta, who was lying there on the ground. So whose feet were those with anklets that touching his breast of a sudden? All of a sudden, she puts her feet mistakenly onto the chest of Upagupta. And to this, he woke up startled. Startled means Upagupta woke up in surprise. ठीक है. He woke up in surprise all of a sudden. And then the girl was holding a lamp from which the light was radiating, it was coming out. So the light from the woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. So this showcases Upagupta's compassionate nature. That even though mistakenly Vasava Datta, जिसका नाम अभी reveal होगा, her feet touched his breast, instead of getting up all angry and lashing out at Vasava Datta that how dare you that your feet touch onto a spiritual, spiritual ascetic like me. Rather, his eyes was portraying forgiveness. His eyes was showcasing forgiveness. He did not held any grudge against Vasava Datta's mistake. Second stanza. So it was Vasava Datta, the dancing girl, who was starred with jewels and clouded with a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. She lowered her lamp and saw the young face, austerely beautiful. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman. Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not a fit bed for you. The young ascetic answered, Woman, go on your way. When the time is ripe, I will come to you. So, whose feet were those? It was of Vasava Datta's feet, who was a dancing girl, very important. She used to dance in the king's court, kingly court, okay, for entertainment. And she was starred with jewels. Starred का मतलब होता है she was all adorned. She was wearing or she was adorned, covered with jewels. She was wearing heavy jewelries and she was looking very beautiful. Along with that, her head was covered. Clouded means covered. With a pale blue mantle. Okay? With a dull means which is of matte finish, that is pale. Blue mantle. Now, mantle refers to a covering or a cloak. ठीक है, like अपने चेहरे को ढकने के लिए women they often wear covering or a cloak. That is what mantle refers to. So she was wearing her blue mantle and she was drunk with the wine of her youth. Means she was consumed by her youthfulness. ठीक है, she was consumed in her lovely beauty and liveliness character. So she was all drunk in that, she was drowned in that, she was soaked in her beauty. So through her body, through her physical appearance, she was appearing extremely beautiful, very beautiful to look at. ठीक है, and then she lowered her lamp and saw the young face austerely beautiful. Now, Vasava Datta, she mistakenly had kept her feet on someone. So she just lowered her lamp. उसके हाथ में जो lamp था उसको नीचे झुकाते हुए वो देखना चाहती है. She was finding out that who was that person. So she lowered her lamp and saw the young face, which was austerely beautiful. Now, austerely conveys reserved. That even though his face was reserved, it was severely, there was a seriousness, even though Upagupta's face was looking a bit serious, but at the same time he was very handsome to look at. It was beautiful, it was very pleasing and pleasant. He had a very pleasant appearance, very pleasant facial features. And then she realizes her mistake, to which she says, Forgive me, I'm sorry, Upagupta, young ascetic, said the woman. Kindly, in order to mend her mistake, she asks him, offers him to come to my house. Please graciously come to my house because this dusty earth is not a fit bed for you. So this dusty bed is not a fit bed for you. This symbolizes her pride. Maybe she was very rich, and in her pride, she invites Upagupta over to come to her house. That this is not a fit bed. You come to my place. I have a lot of wealth, and I'll provide you with a comfortable bed. Okay? So it is not, and at the same time, it is also conveying that somewhat to an extent, Vasava Datta was immediately attracted by Upagupta. So she was inviting Upagupta over so that she can even, maybe attract her through her beauty. But then Upagupta was an ardent devotee of Buddha, and he was a spiritual, I won't say spiritual leader, but he was a spiritual practitioner, due to which he politely denies this offer, saying that young ascetic answered, "Woman, go on your way. जाओ तुम चली जाओ अभी यहां से, हमारे अभी मिलन का सही समय नहीं आया है. So when the time is ripe, I will come to you." So this shows, this is creating a sense of foreboding. ठीक है, it is creating a sense of foreboding and a sense of foreshadowing. Foreshadowing means hinting that this is not just the only meeting between them. There will come a time later where again they are going to meet. But when the time will be ripe, ripe means when the time will be appropriate. So it is not right time for our unison. I will definitely come to you when the time is right. So Upagupta, politely denying Vasava Datta, it symbolizes that Upagupta is a true, he is an epitome. You know what is the meaning of epitome? Epitome means perfect example. Okay? He's a true epitome of spiritual world. Upagupta symbolizes that what walking on a spiritual world feels like. Okay? Where you are not attracted by any worldly pleasures and you are not tied down by any emotional bonds. While on the other hand, Vasava Datta symbolizes sensuality and the illusionary world, that is the Brahm, Maya. So Vasava Datta is like the Maya and Upagupta is like the spiritual world. And दोनों का मिलन अभी होना बाकी है. So I will come to you when the time is right. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky and the women trembled in fear. So the peaceful scene, the peaceful murky August of sky where both the characters are meeting for the first time, it is disturbed, it is interrupted by a storm. So all of a sudden there was thunder, there was lightning, there was storm which was brewing, which was coming into the scene. So suddenly the black night showed its teeth. So it is a personification where the black night is showing its wrath, its anger, okay? It's showing its dreadful display. It's a dreadful display of the night. So it is showing its teeth in a flash of lightning. So there is a thunder that is happening. The storm is growling. Now the growling storm refers to onomatopoeia as a figure of speech, like growling stomach agar bolte hai. So it is onomatopoeia conveys the sound of something. ठीक है? So growling storm. And from the corner of the sky, the women trembled in fear. So since there was a thunder up in the sky, due to which Vasava Datta, she shuddered, she shook, she trembled in fear. And then there is a transition which is happening. A year had not yet passed. यानी एक साल पूरा भी complete नहीं हुआ है अभी properly. So the poem transitions to a new scene. And it was evening of a day in April. So from the murky sky of August, now we are transported to the spring season of April, during the spring, which symbolizes renewal, which symbolizes compassion, and which symbolizes spiritual awakening, inner awakening. And the branches of the wayside trees were full of blossoms. So sideway tree, जितने भी path पे जो भी पेड़ पौधे थे, it was all blossoming. So there was flowers on them, which symbolizes renewal and growth. And gay notes means happy notes. Happy notes means happy, melodious notes of a flute was floating in the warm spring air from afar. So हवा के साथ बांसुरी की मधुर आवाज भी, बांसुरी की मधुर धुन भी सुनाई दे रही थी. ठीक है. So it was coming, it was spreading, it was coming along with air from somewhere far in a place, and it could be heard, the pleasant notes of the flute. The citizens had gone to the woods and to celebrate the festival of flowers, that is the blossom festival, to celebrate this festival of spring. वसंत में जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, स्प्रिंग के टाइम पे आपका झूला बांधा जाता है. एंड फागुन, फागुन के महीना में झूला लगा के लड़कियां झूला झूलती है. एंड देयर इज होल लॉट ऑफ celebration and festivities that goes on. So the citizens, the people had gone to the woods, had gone to the jungle to celebrate the festival of flowers. From the mid sky gazed the full moon. So now it is the evening time, जहाँ पे beautiful image of sky has been pictured over here, a picturesque image कि full moon, पूर्णिमा का चांद खिलखिला रहा है. And on the shadows of the silent town, कि टाउन में पूरा अंधेरा है, लेकिन उस silent town के ऊपर there is a radiance of the moon which is coming, which is falling from above. The young ascetic was walking in the lonely street. So Upagupta was walking all alone. He was just striding. आराम से धीरे धीरे वो चल के रोड के ऊपर जा रहा था अकेले स्ट्रीट पे. And while overhead, above his head, the love-sick koils uttered from the mango branches their sleepless plaint. So lovesick means lovesick implies that the unfulfilled love of the koil. So above the head of Upagupta, onto the mango branch, onto the mango tree, there were two koils who were, जिनका आवाज, कू का आवाज सुनाई दे रहा था, as if they are complaining. Plaint means as if they are complaining of their unfulfilled love. Lovesick means of their unfulfilled love. So they were creating sound as if they are longing for their unition. या ऐसा लग रहा था कि जैसे the entire nature is waiting for the two souls to unite. That is the unition between Upagupta and Vasavadatta, and it is symbolized through the lovesick koils who were uttering, whose voice could be heard from the mango, heard from the mango branches about their sleepless plaint, means about their complaint, or about their lamentation, means about their longing, their desire. ठीक है. Upagupta passed through the city gates. As he crossed the city gates and stood at the base, at the end, at the edge, towards the end of the rampart. Now, what is the meaning of rampart? Rampart refers to a defensive wall which is built around a city to protect it from the invasion. कि कोई घुसपैठ ना घुस जाए बोल के सिटी के एंड में या विलेज के एंड में एक बड़ा सा वॉल को उठाया जाता है, उसको रैम्पार्ट बोलते हैं. सो इट्स अ वॉल, डिफेंसिव वॉल ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर टाउन और अ सिटी. So he reached to the end or to the edge of the rampart, towards the wall of Mathura, and he saw that there was a woman who was sleeping under the mango tree. So what woman lay at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? So who was that woman who was sleeping at his feet, lay at his feet? He saw that a woman was lying down in the shadow of a mango grove, जो आम के पेड़ की छाया के नीचे सो रही थी. She was struck with black pestilence and her body spotted with sores of smallpox. So she was afflicted. ठीक है, she was struck means her body had all breakouts. Breakouts यानी like pimples होके रखे थे उसके बॉडी पे with black pestilence. Black means a dull, and pestilence refers to like a, it's like a disease. ठीक है, that too a fatal disease. Fatal means a deadly disease. So her body was visible with some deadly fatal disease which was spotted with the sores of smallpox. Sores refers to blisters, and smallpox तो आपको पता होगा, smallpox chicken pox जैसे होता है वैसे smallpox भी होता है. So उसके बॉडी पे पूरा ब्रेकआउट्स होके रखा था of the smallpox. She had been hurriedly driven away. उसे तुरंत, जैसे उसको smallpox हुआ, she had been driven away means उसको तुरंत गांव से निकाल दिया गया था. She was driven away from the village, from the town, to avoid her poisonous contagion. Now, that smallpox was contagious, means it was communicable. So in order to prevent the communicable disease of a smallpox, she was driven away, she was thrown out. She was thrown out of the town to avoid her contagion. And as Upagupta saw her, he went to her. The ascetic sat by her side. वो उसके पास गया है, उसके बगल में जाके बैठा. Took her head on his knees. उसका सर उठा के अपने घुटने पे रखा on his knees. And moistened means wet her lips. Moistened means wet her lips with water. उसको थोड़ा सा पानी पिलाया, उसके मुंह को गीला किया, because it had all parched, it had all dried up. Smeared her body. Smeared means covered, और applied भी आप बोल सकते हो. So he applied her body with balm. Balm, I hope you all know that it is an ointment. उसके body पे एक paste लगाया to provide her some relief from that smallpox. And to which Vasavadatta opened her eyes and she asked the guy that, who are you? Who are you, merciful one? Means, why are you showing so much of compassion? Why are you treating me with so much of warmth and compassion? Merciful one, who are you? Asked the woman, asked Vasavadatta. The time at last has come to visit you. So finally, it is the right time, when it is the appropriate time where we should unite, we should meet. And I am here, Vasavadatta. So finally, the time has come where I should be beside you, replied the young ascetic. So it is Upagupta who kept his promise. He had said that this is not the right time for us to meet. I am going to come when it is the appropriate time to meet you. So Upagupta kept his promise of meeting her when the time is right, and he was beside her. So this shows the power of true love, that it is not true love which stays by you during the best of your time. It is only when true love is love is true when it is standing by you during the worst of your time. That is what the portrayal of true love is. So the last lines of Upagupta concludes the poem with a symbol of true love which is beyond and above. So he did not unite with Vasavadatta when she was at her best. Rather, he came and united with Vasavadatta when she was driven away from the people, from the same people whom she had entertained through her dance. And जब उसको बीमारी हुआ, सब ने उसका साथ छोड़ दिया, कोई उसके आसपास नहीं था. When she was not at her best, at that time Upagupta held her hands. So the last line of Upagupta concludes that this is a perfect symbol of true love, which is beyond and above, which is beyond any physicality and emotional conditioning, which is beyond the worldly ideologies of love, a love which is above physicality and emotional ties, a love which is an intimacy between two soul, not two body, but two soul, a love which is selfless. So Upagupta depicted his selflessness and compassion by meeting Vasavadatta at a time when she was at her worst. So I hope it is clear, the poem is clear, and I hope that you are liking my explanation. If you are, then please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and keep studying, keep smiling. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.